Hey everyone, it's Michael Goosebumps fan. Today I have another book haul slash a VHS tape haul, which one doesn't really count as a haul, but still, I got a VHS tape today. I'm going to show that to you first in this book haul video. Now you might wonder, a while back I got all the books, 100% have them, but then I discovered the hardcover library bindings. I started searching out for those and picking those up now. And gotten a lot of them so far. I wanted to go ahead and show you some of the ones I got this week. I did a video last week showing you some of the hardcovers that I had gotten in a big haul. And there's not a huge haul here. I started to wait for some other stuff that's coming in the next week or so. I should have another haul video for you next week. Not so much with just books, but a couple of other things I'm really excited to show you as well that I think you'll really get a kick out of. Can't wait to see some of the stuff myself in person. Now, today I have something that I may or may not have been the thing that brought me to Goosebumps and showed me what Goosebumps was. When I was a kid, I was into horror in general. I've told that many times here on the channel. I loved horror, and my mom got me into horror movies and stuff like that. And when I was at the Hollywood Video that we used to rent videos at, we weren't big Blockbuster people, I've said that before too. We were more Hollywood Video people. Blockbuster was the second choice in case we didn't have anything that we were looking for at Hollywood Video when new releases would come out. There was a particular VHS tape that I rented over and over and over again. I wish I could have gotten my hands on the VHS copy that this Hollywood Video had before they went out of business. Right before they went out of business, maybe a year or so before that, they got rid of all the VHS tapes in the building and immediately started switching over to just DVD. Maybe the early Blu-rays, possibly, too. But they sold their VHS tapes. One of the ones I picked up, aside from a bunch of Dragon Ball Z VHS tapes, which were still cool, and I own a lot of those, was the Bride of the Living Dummy, the Extreme Goosebumps, or whatever it was called. Goosebumps Legacy. I don't remember what the VHS tapes were at that time. But the other thing that I got today is the one that I used to rent all the time, not the exact copy, but kind of like it, of Night of the Living Dummy 3. Has the purple clamshell on it and everything, and I was so excited to finally get this. The cover is not perfect. It still has a little bit of like some kind of white scraping stuff. I don't know what it is. It looks like a sticker that got stuck on there or from another box that was beside this. I'm so glad to finally have a copy on VHS, because I love VHS tapes. I don't know if I've talked about that here on the channel. I prefer VHS to DVD and Blu-ray immensely, because a lot of the films that came out when I was a kid in the 90s and early 2000s, they look better on VHS. The special effects look better on VHS versus DVD. Jeepers Creepers is the best example ever of that. Ever. Easily. Now, one of the coolest things about this that I was so excited about, that I did not know was coming with this. Now, when I was growing up, I didn't own any VHSs of Goosebumps at all. This one came with something that was always in the box at the Hollywood Video copy that I got. I finally got it with this one. For whatever reason, it came with this one. I'm a little surprised that it did. I didn't know it was coming with it. I'd kind of forgotten about it until I opened it up. By the way, here's the tape. It's completely clean looking. I haven't watched this yet to see if it works, but I'm pretty confident it does. It looks like it's in okay condition. Whoever owned this must have been a collector, because this looks like it's in fantastic condition, except for that cover being a little sloppy and messed up. The little booklet. Do you remember the little booklet? It came with all kinds of stuff inside. You had the purple splat on the back, and like inside you'd have like promos for fan clubs and other VHS tapes and all kinds of stuff, man. Really, really, really cool stuff to mail in and order and all that good stuff. Series 2000 was coming out at the time. This was kind of like at the tail end of Goosebumps popularity. You have an ad in here for the Attack of the Mutant video game, which I still have not watched a walkthrough. My friend Ryan, that always puts down in the comment section, I should check that out sometime. And I'm planning on it at some point. But I got the little booklet. I actually had to tear the little strip off to open that, if I can get the strip out of here. Yeah. I had to tear the little strip off. I've never seen inside of this little thing before, even though I rented that VHS all the time, and for some reason they kept it inside of the VHS when you'd rent it, in the clamshell, back in those days, like the early 2000s, when I got into Goosebumps, probably like 2002 or 3 or 4, somewhere around there, maybe even 5 for all I remember. But I loved it, I was obsessed with it, and I'm so thankful I have a VHS copy of this now to go along with my DVD copy that I have watched every year, basically, of my life since I got this when I was having my birthday party back in the day. When I first got into Goosebumps, I used to rent this all the time. Now I had the DVD copy at the time. I got it around the time that I had my skating rink birthday party, when I got a bunch of the books that I talk about sometimes here in the reprint era, when they first got reprint. I almost hit myself in the eye. Did you see that? That almost took my eyeball. So I have a DVD copy now. Now I have the VHS copy, because eventually DVD is not going to work as well. This might not work itself, but I'm hoping it does, because I love VHS. I'm sorry for all the rambling. I'm trying to make a fun, entertaining video. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, how's your Saturday going? I have some really cool stuff that came this week. We did get some hardcovers this week, but I also got some other books. I've kind of said this here on the channel. I want to restate this for anybody who happens to find this as their first video. I like to restate things just so people know if they're a newcomer, what they're kind of getting themselves into with me. If there is a book that I love from Goosebumps, especially with the old classic series that has had 2 re-releases now. You had the first reprint that I was just mentioning from like 2003 or 4 or 5, somewhere in there. And they had newer covers, they didn't have the numbers on the side anymore. And then you have the new reissues, which there's a lot less of those being reissued, that have brand new covers entirely, and they don't look good a lot of the time. There are some exceptions, like Haunted Mask 1 and 2. The Slappy books look terrible, except for Bride of the Living Dummy. I think it looks kind of cool. Very traditional with the old Series 2000 book. But when there's a book that I love, I'm trying to get like every version of it that I can. Every copy, every cover version, all that stuff, because I love it so much. And this is a great example for this first book I have to show you of one that I actually got 2 different copies this week that I cannot wait to show you the other one too. This first one is the original release with the number 15 written on the side. You Can't Scare Me. When I read this, I only had the reprint copy with the new reprint that didn't have like the cool border, the old number and all that, the amazing cover that looks a lot better than the newer cover. I love, love, love this book. You Can't Scare Me is one of my favorites of the original classic series that I never read until recently, like in the last 6 months or so. And talk about an amazing book. You Can't Scare Me is amazing. One of the best. Now, we'll get a little bit into the hardcovers. Yeah, the rest of the books are hardcovers for this week. This first book, I did not expect it to come with this. It kind of gives me a discrepancy to tell you so that you'll know ahead of time too in case you do what I did. I've been going to thrift books this week, and well, even last week, and ordering some hardcover library binding editions of a lot of these books. And I got some off eBay, I got some off of Thrift Books website. Now mind you, just in case you decide to go for some hardcover Goosebumps library bindings are designed, and when I did a little research to let you know more, library bindings are designed to be for more readings of a book. So they do typically have hardcover, but they are more expensive. They're like double the price, sometimes triple the price of a regular Goosebumps book. They might go from being $7 in paperback to being a library binding in hardcover that could be about $17, even for the newest books. Because they're supposed to be very well kept and everything. And this is kind of the new thing I'm doing. I'm collecting the hardcovers of the books that I love if I can find them, because they're like next to impossible. There's barely any pictures on the internet anywhere of any hardcovers for Goosebumps or library bindings, if you want to call them that. And I just want them for books that I love, really. I don't really care about some other things. If they come in a big book lot, that's fine too. But there are books like Ghost Beach and You Can't Scare Me and just the really cool stuff, the dummy books that I would love to have these in the library bindings. And it's a little tricky to try to find that. And this book I ordered, I did not know that Thrift Books had a weird setup with their library binding editions that they had set up with the covers and all that. I did not realize what I was doing here. I'm glad I have this, but I'd prefer to have the original cover. I just have the newer cover. This is hardcover. Yeah, it's not paperback. This is a hardcover book. You can see kind of the spine crease right there. This is brand new. It was like 16 bucks. And I like this cover a lot. A lot of people don't like this reissue cover. I do. I think it's nice. I prefer the Haunted Mask 2 cover reissue, whatever, for the newer reissues that have been coming out the last few years. But I love the Haunted Mask book. It's very, very good, very spooky. I love having a hardcover version, even if this is the wrong cover of what I thought I was going to get. I thought I was going to get the original. The original is like available nowhere from what I can tell. I want it really bad. But I went ahead and got this. I'm glad I have it because I would have bought the newer edition anyway too, just to have it as part of the collection because it's a book that I love from the franchise. But I looked through it and it's perfect. Perfect condition, man. Not a single thing is wrong with it. I'm trying to see too. They have the Q&A in the back like they had with a lot of these reissues. There's like no advertisements for anything in here, pretty much. So that's kind of wild. Some of these covers for these library bindings can be a little blurry. I don't know if it's just the way they're supposed to be or if some of them are just old or what. This is only a few years old. But I really want to get Haunted Mask 1 and 2 in this cover thing. You know, the Haunted Mask 4, which is Wanted, the Haunted Mask from the Most Wanted series, it was the first Most Wanted book, but it really didn't count. That book was already originally released in hardcover, and I have 2 hardcovers of that. Scream of the Haunted Mask is also in hardcover, library binding, whatever, from the Horrorland franchise. So I might pick that up at some point too. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but just because it's a Haunted Mask book and I love Haunted Mask, I might get that at some point, God willing. but I'd love to have the original two from the classic series. I would absolutely just love to have those as part of my collection because they're great books, especially Haunted Bass 2. That's a really, really great one. This book here is one of my favorites of Goosebumps at all, whether it be the classic editions, whether it be anything of the newer series. I don't care. It's amazing. I'm so glad I have the original cover in hardcover. I'd even buy the new one if I could find it. I'm not sure if it's out there or not. I'm not sure if Thrift Books had it. Again, I didn't look, so I don't really know. But A Shocker on Shock Street. I freaking love A Shocker on Shock Street. It's an amazing book. If you haven't read this, you're missing out. It's not just about some giant or a bug turning giant or anything like that. It's not like that. It's genuinely amazing. If you're a film fan, especially horror film series, you will love Shocker on Shock Street. It has so much love for it, especially in the title with the Nightmare on Elm Street kind of reference. This book is amazing. I love it. This is used, of course, came from a library. I looked through with a lot of these library editions. You can actually open this one. Some of the books I bought in the previous haul you couldn't open because they were so old and beat up and stuff. But this even has the library card in the back from 1997, where somebody had been borrowing these from the libraries. This is mostly in good condition. I would say the inside, the pages aren't really anything but yellowed a little bit, as you can see. But Shocker on Shock Street, man, it's one of my favorites. I'm so glad to have this as part of the collection. I started to wait off until the rest of the stuff came this coming week and do a big haul video, but I decided not to do that. I want to do one here just to kind of give you some goosebumps because this past week I've been doing a lot of creepypasta, things like Goosebumps type videos, a lot of, well, Invisible Man films. Like I just uploaded a review for that fourth Invisible Man film, The Invisible Agent. I wanted to give you some goosebumps for the week. I'm sorry I haven't really done a whole lot. I'm reading Let's Get Invisible right now, which is amazing. So far, I love it. I'm over halfway through it, and I adore it. Absolutely. So I thought I'd give you a little taste of that, too, of what I'm reading currently, what your next review will probably be, God willing, from me. Anyway, this is the final book of Goosebumps classic series from the 90s. And most people, for whatever reason, don't like this one. I like it a lot. It reminds me a lot of Gremlins. This is a hardcover edition, once again, of Monster Blood 4. Now, I got Monster Blood 3 last week in a big book haul I bought off eBay. This one was standalone in an eBay purchase, and I grabbed it because I was like, you know, these library bindings are going to be worth money someday. I don't know any collector I've seen on YouTube have library bindings. I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't know if they don't know they exist or they don't care. Really surprised by that. Not Ozzy, not Zach Baby TV. Nobody seems to have these. I don't know why, but when I find ones like this that I really enjoyed a lot, I like this more than Monster Blood 3, I believe. I might be contradicting my series ranking video that I did where I ranked all the books, but I don't think I am. I think I like this one a lot. I remember enjoying the book just in general. Whether it was more than Monster Blood 3, it's regardless. Doesn't matter because I have both books. But Monster Blood 4, really, really good. I looked through this again, kind of a yellowing of the pages, but nothing else really in here. There's an advertisement for Series 2000, which is cool. Again, this is book 62 out of the old 62 book series. The very last one. To have this in hardcover, this probably might be worth some money one day. I don't know. It's not the best condition, but still, I don't see anybody talking about this stuff. I'm a little surprised. Somebody commented on my last video, I don't remember who it was, but somebody commented saying they'd love to see me do more hardcovers and get some more hardcovers, and I want them myself. Now, this last one, it kind of broke my heart a little bit, because I thought, again, before I figured out the Thrift Books thing about how there's different covers for library bindings. There's the newer books and the older books. Not all of them, as far as I know. I don't think all the old books had hardcovers out at library editions and stuff. Not all the new ones do either. I don't think all the Slappy World books have newer hardcover editions. But this one kind of broke my heart. I'm glad I have this copy. Again, this is a modern release of a book that I love. You might already know because I dropped a hint earlier. I would love to get the original book in hardcover, but it didn't happen. I thought I was getting it, but I didn't, and I'm still happy with what I got because I love You Can't Scare Me. You Can't Scare Me is one of my favorite books out of all the classic series. Again, I adore it. It's amazing. This is a cool hardcover with the newer reissue cover on it. I wish it had the old cover. I was so excited for that, and I didn't get it, and I'm so bummed about that. Maybe I can get my hands on it at another point, God willing. Again, I'm not even sure if there is an original release with the original cover on. I'm assuming with how good You Can't Scare Me is and how the Mud Monsters had like toys every once in a while and stuff from the old 90s era when these were coming out, I'm assuming there's probably a hardcover somewhere of the original cover and all that, and I want it. If you have it, I'll PayPal you if you send it to me. If you show me some pictures, I'm telling you, I'll buy it off you because I love these things. Again, nobody's buying these because of the newer covers. I love them. I don't care about the newer covers because I like this cover. It's alright, but I love the original, the spooky Mud Monsters I showed you a moment ago from the original version that I have. That's it for this week's book haul. I hope that you enjoyed the videos, or the books, excuse me. I hope you enjoyed the video as well, but I hope you enjoyed the books that I showed you here, the VHS tapes, or the tape. I'm out of my mind today. I hope that you had a good time. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a good weekend. It's a big thing. I'm going to a very fancy restaurant tonight with my fiance to have a really good Valentine's Day dinner because we both work second shift and we don't live together, so I didn't get to see her much yesterday. So it's going to be a fun night. It's going to be a very cool night. I'm going to catch up on some Goosebumps. I fell asleep last night even though it was Friday, so I didn't finish reading the book Let's Get Invisible like I wanted to. So maybe, possibly, you might get a Let's Get Invisible video review tonight from me. I'm not really sure. You might. It's possible. Potentially, if I survive. If I get to read the whole thing and I don't fall asleep. Anyway, what are your thoughts, guys, on all these books and stuff? Put your thoughts in comments down below. Thank you so much for watching and being patient with me. Again, I should have another book haul video for you next week, even though most of these are done. Somebody's running the vacuum now, so I have to hurry and finish the video, because nobody cares about my videos. Anyway, thank you, guys. God bless you today, and goodbye.